Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. You can email me thoughts, questions, opinions, feedback, adoration, praise, whatever you wish, Todd at toddhuffshow.com. And it is a pleasure to be here today. I want to talk about Biden's speech yesterday. Apparently, the Democrats are now acknowledging a couple of things. Number one, it is time to begin the 2022 campaign. That's what this is about. This, in case you missed it, this speech was about really attacking Texas and Georgia and states that are trying to pass laws for the protection and the integrity of their elections. States run their elections, but the left doesn't want there effectively to be any rules. I would like Biden to tell us what restriction, and that's how this is framed. This is how Biden framed it. This is how the left frames it. Anytime there is any rule whatsoever, the headline is Republicans restrict voting access. Republicans make voting harder. Okay. Well, but I guess so if you have to give someone an ID, that makes voting harder. That's restricting voting. And that sounds, I've read a lot of articles on this stuff lately, more than I care to admit because I couldn't sleep last night. But I will say this. The way that this is framed, I remember being back in my college days when we would have debates, and I remember learning the concept that whoever sets the rules and the terms of the debate typically is going to be the winner of the debate. So, for example, if I'm introduced in a debate as the one who is anti-choice, or if there's a debate on some other issue, whatever the issue might be, political debate here, if the way that people are spoken about, the way that they are introduced, this person is going to give the case for this particular issue. They've got a history of fighting for people and, fighting for, this and that choice. They've got a dedicated, they've been dedicated to a lifetime of public service. And then we got this joker over here who, is funded by a bunch of wealthy white people or whatever. You know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean. That's how this is done. And if you read the articles and the descriptions of these things, I mean, it is absolutely clear and undeniable that the media and the Democrat Party, but I'm talking specifically about the media here, which, by the way, is the Democrat Party. It's the mouthpiece. It's the PR firm of the Democrat Party. The way that they talk about these things, by definition, it puts Republicans on the defensive because of the things that are alleged, namely that Republicans are trying to suppress the vote, namely that Republicans are trying to keep Black Americans from voting, namely that Republicans are trying to put hurdles and barriers and restrictions that make things complicated and impossible for people to get to the polls. In fact, as I listened to Biden's speech, I listened to it last night on YouTube. I didn't catch the stupid speech live, but I will say this. I find this speech, I truly believe that this speech, as I'm watching here, the Dramocrats fleeing the state of Texas so they don't have a quorum, breaking the law in their own state, fleeing to D.C., which is precisely where they need to go. I mean, that's a perfect place for them to go, ideologically speaking. If you didn't see that, the House Democrats in Texas have fled the state during a special session, so they don't have to vote on this particular law, but they are in violation of the law. This is breaking the law. They can actually be arrested according to the law. And of course, Abbott is being painted as a Nazi for saying that they basically will end up getting arrested and forced to go back and to vote. Anyway, I don't want to go down that particular rabbit hole, but that's another facet of this issue, I guess. But Biden's speech yesterday, completely irresponsible, and I say dangerous for this nation, in particular for race relations in this country today. Biden has referred to the election laws in Georgia, and I believe maybe in Texas, just in general, these laws that are designed to make sure that only legal ballots are cast. They put restrictions. This goes without saying, right? If you have the media today writing, let's say you bought a safe deposit, a safe in your house, and you put something in it. The media, if they didn't like you and they were trying to, be on the side of people accessing the safe, they would say that you put things that people need. Maybe you've put something of value in there. You're not allowing people to access something of value that would help them to get through their daily life. You locked it away from them. You're preventing them from accessing it. This is the way that this is talked about. And Biden says that these election laws are Jim Crow laws on steroids. Now, you may have heard about Jim Crow laws. You may know a little bit. You may know a lot. Some folks may be, we have folks from all different, political backgrounds or histories as far as what folks know and so forth. But Jim Crow laws literally helped enforce racial segregation, particularly in the South, in the 19th and 20th centuries. In fact, these laws were really on the books until the past, 50 years or so. And they literally, this is where the term separate but equal came from. I think with the Plessy v. Ferguson Supreme Court case, where the court ruled that there can be, laws that separate people as long as they're equal, so separate but equal based upon race. And Biden is literally comparing that. First of all, he's not even comparing. He's saying those laws, the Jim Crow laws, are not as offensive as this voting law. That's what he means when he says Jim Crow laws on steroids, which is beyond, there are perspectives, right? So I come to this program every day with a conservative, not bitter perspective, and I share with you what I believe to be, I have that lens, right? I have a conservative political lens, excuse me, that I view issues through. I think there's a lot of good reasons for that, by the way. And I'm also going to say that conservatism accepts and acknowledges truth. So I don't want to just say that all perspectives are equal, but there are some things that are perspective does matter. There can be different perspectives of the same thing, and one person sees good in it, and another sees maybe some bad or maybe some risk to it, right? I mean, this is okay. This is reasonable. So this is beyond that, though. This isn't just saying, hey, this could impact this group of people's ability to vote. Okay, we can discuss that. That's not, I guess, necessarily the worst thing in the world. But when you portray these laws as Jim Crow laws on steroids, that is not a legitimate perspective. That is intended for one thing only. That is intended to ignite an emotional response from a community, whether it be the black community or whether it be just the liberal community in general, the white liberal community who believes that this is a racist country, and they immediately, without even paying any attention to the context or the content of this law, that we're talking about, which is Texas election law, which you could throw the Georgia election law in here too. You could throw any number of states in here, even states that have had these sorts of laws on the books for a long time. It's just that those laws are not what's being passed today. But it is beyond irresponsible. It is inflammatory. It is throwing gasoline and striking a match on an already very volatile situation when it comes to race relations in America today. Make no mistake about it, that is precisely what your president, Joe Biden, did yesterday. And I do not take pleasure in doing it. I come on here every day and look, I think that what Biden is doing, his ideology, I think it's wrong. I think it's dangerous. I do, for the freedom of this great nation. I think that the Democrats that are elected in public office today are first and foremost dramocrats. They're looking to engage in political theater. They're looking to try to get people to vote for them and support their ideas, not based upon the merit, but based upon these other things that are going on, usually calling people who disagree with them racist or sexist or bigots or homophobes or fill in the blank. And so that I believe that that's true each and every day. But I don't take pleasure. I really do not. And maybe I'm in the minority here, but I don't take pleasure in saying these things about the sitting president of the United States. I still have respect for the office of the president, no matter who is in that office. This is a special country, special nation that has that office, and I have respect for sitting congressmen and senators and judges and all that as well. So I don't take pleasure in this, but folks, this is precisely what is happening, and I would be doing a disservice to you if I did not stop and point this out, because this is a dangerous way to lead a country. This is a dangerous way to talk about issues today. Remember, Biden was supposed to ride in on the white horse, metaphorically speaking here. Who knows? Maybe literally. There's probably some person in the PR department that wants a photo shoot of Biden riding in with his aviator glasses on a white horse, for all I know. But he was supposed to be riding in on the white horse to heal America. Remember this? He's going to bring healing. We had Trump. Trump was this provocateur, this divider, this guy who's just throwing, causing messes, causing fires in our government, dangerous, just seconds away from nuking countries around the world. Nancy Pelosi wanted to take the nuclear codes away from him in his final days in office. All this stuff, right? Biden's going to come in, going to be president for all Americans again, because apparently Trump wasn't. Apparently, if you're a Republican, you have to do what Democrats want. And if you're a Democrat, you get to totally ignore what Republicans want. It only matters to be bipartisan when Republicans are in power. When Democrats are in power, you can say that the other side is enacting Jim Crow laws on steroids, and people, at least in the media, don't have a problem with this. That's not provocative. That's not historically inaccurate. That's not making a mountain out of a molehill, so to speak. And by the way, I thought America was already a fundamentally racist nation. Why wouldn't these racist election laws, as Biden has portrayed or claimed that they are, why wouldn't they already have existed and been on the books? Why are states just now in 2021 getting to this? I mean, America is fundamentally broken and just beyond repair, and just an awful place, according to the radical left, according to many who are dramocrats today. Why wouldn't these laws have already been on the books? And I'll say this too. When you shame and try to silence a group of people, like white guilt, with white shame, with, sit down and shut up. It's not, if you're white, you don't get the right to talk. It's our turn to talk sort of approach now. I mean, that's really the danger in all this, is the attempts to silence other groups of people, whether they be, in this instance, in culture today, white or conservative or what have you, folks, no one should be silenced. Even the people who have dangerous ideas. We need to be able to have a free debate so that we can expose the lies to the light of truth, and that will dispel the dark. The darkness will be the lies and the deceit and the just brokenness of the ideology will be exposed if we can do that. But we're never allowed to do that because it's a constant game of theater, bad political theater. But it's engaging. Democrats have flown to Texas so they don't have to vote on this, breaking the law, making them effectively fugitives. By the way, aren't they flying on a private jet, probably funded by George Soros for all we know? Some rich, wealthy Democrat donor. I thought the Republicans were the only party that had wealthy donors. I mean, there's so much wrong with this for anyone who just wants to be critical and think for themselves. But this speech, and I'm going to play some of it, completely, and I mean this, completely irresponsible. I think it is the worst and most historically inaccurate, the most disingenuous speech I have heard. Now, this is a big statement, but I think it's the most disingenuous and historically inaccurate speech I've heard given by a sitting president in my lifetime. Now, I don't proclaim to say that I've heard every single speech given, but I'm telling you, I'd have to think about this. Go back to Obama's years and think about maybe his apology tour or some such thing. But this is definitely up there, and it's, I would say, the one that I would think is the most inaccurate and disingenuous, because this is complete bunk and BS, dare I say, what we're being told about this. They're gearing up for 2022. They're trying to fundraise. They're trying to make this about it. And I got some thoughts about that as well. This can be anything besides a referendum on what they've done so far, because they've destroyed everything they've touched. Timeout is in order. Oz is trying her best to get my attention over here, so I'm going to take a break. Come back and pick up there and talk about just why they can't run on what they've accomplished, because they've destroyed everything they touched. Sit tight back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Ward's Apparel, Edwards Equipment, and Indiana Wooded Paradise Retreat by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Unhappy with your CPAP machine? Now you have an alternative. The docs at Indy Dental Sleep have an oral appliance that treats snoring and sleep apnea. They begin with an in-home sleep test that is diagnosed by a sleep physician before prescribing your appliance. And it's covered by most medical insurance plans. It's preferred 20-1 versus CPAP. Call 317-888-4036 and start getting the sleep you need. Or visit IndyDentalSleep.com.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931. But what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost. I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com. Are you looking for reliable advice on real estate investing? Then you should start listening to the Homeboys. Clint and Scott have over 40 years of real estate investing experience that they use to educate and guide their listeners. Listen and learn from their experiences to maximize your real estate investment strategy. You can find the Homeboys podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watch them on YouTube. That's the Homeboys podcast. They can show you how to get started and reach your real estate investment goals.
You're busy. At Citizens Bank, we know your time is precious. That's why we're bringing a full-service branch to Stone's Crossing for all your home, commercial, and personal banking needs. Looking to open an account, get assistance from your mortgage and commercial lenders, or just make all banking transactions right from your car? We can make it easy for you. Visit our new branch at 1767 West Stones Crossing Road. Citizens Bank. More bank for your buck.
Has it been a while since your last eye checkup? Has your eyesight changed? At Best Insight Eye Care, they keep an eye on your vision. Their doctors use the most advanced technology and eye care products available. At Best Insight, you will find professionals who genuinely care about you and are dedicated to providing exceptional service. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase. Schedule your appointment at the Southeast Side, Indianapolis, or New Palestine locations by visiting bestinsighteyecare.com or calling 317-782-4000 to get the best insight. Welcome back. Make no mistake about this, and we'll get to some sound bites of this. I thought about actually playing this entire speech. Well, we couldn't fit it. It's about 20 minutes of content. The beginning, the first couple of minutes or so, he's, telling people to stand up like he did Chuck back several years. Stand up, Chuck. Oh, my goodness, Chuck's in a wheelchair. Let's stand up for Chuck. I remember that. So moments like that, not quite as embarrassing, but stand up and applaud this person and all that kind of stuff. Commenting on one gentleman, I forget who it was, somebody's taste in selecting wives or some such thing. You know how this goes. So Biden, the speech is, roughly 22 minutes. And I thought about just playing it and stopping it, but, we wouldn't have gotten through it all, and I might do that. I might, time permitting. There is a lot of stuff going on, as you can imagine here, with the Truth Tour and our TV show. Actually, we record our first episodes of the TV show the next Friday, which is very exciting for me as well. There's just a lot going on. So I don't know if I can do it, but I thought about doing that today. I just didn't think it was, I couldn't get the whole speech in, and I wouldn't want to miss the end, I guess. And so we'll stick with some sound bites. But regardless, I think the takeaway, so yesterday, in my opinion, what they did is they kicked off the 2022 midterm campaign. Because, as I said before the break, they cannot run. Folks, hear me out. They the Democrat Party, the Dramocrats, the folks that run from voting, the folks who become fugitives so they don't have to vote in the state of Texas and elsewhere, by the way. I remember when they ran here in the state of Indiana as well, ran over to Illinois, I think, and hunkered down over there. Anyhow, they cannot run on what they've accomplished. They simply cannot. What in the world? just look at what's happened. Trump has only been gone. I know it seems like it's been 6 years, but it's really only been about 6 months, 6 or 7 months now since Biden's been running the show. And look at what's happened. Just look at what's happened. It is an unmitigated disaster. We're talking about hyperinflation and hyperinflation. We have labor shortages because of these never-ending unemployment benefits, and there's lawsuits about that now. We've got problems increasing with Iran. We have what is good? We talk of tax increases, an unmitigated disaster on the southern border. What has gone well? And see that we're living in the world of reality, and we're looking at those things and saying, my goodness, it is a mess. Race relations are even worse than they were 6 months ago. And it's in part because of this sort of rhetoric that we heard from Biden. And I should pause and say Biden is calling these election laws Jim Crow laws on steroids, but I don't think he said that in the speech yesterday. I wasn't saying that he did. I was just saying in general, this is who Biden, this is the position he's taken in general, the sorts of things he's saying. And the speech was clearly, and he referenced Jim Crow laws. He called them 21st century Jim Crow laws, I believe, in that speech yesterday. In the past, he's referred to these laws as Jim Crow laws on steroids. Anyway, this is why. So in those of us living in reality, we can see that there are obvious problems with what's going on in America today. Problems that didn't exist 6 months ago, 7 months ago, when Trump was in office. Then on top of that, you got to think about from the radicals' perspective. They have the Senate, they have the House, they have the presidency, and they're wondering, why aren't we doing away with the filibuster? Why aren't we going in here and forcing H.R. 1, the For the People Act? Why are we not forcing that through? Why are we not doing this? They're demanding action. This is the time to act. And so the Democrats, I love watching this because this is a self-created problem. They have stirred the hornet's nest with the radical left. They've made these promises. They've told them what they're going to do. Now, they're dangerous, and so it terrifies me at the same time. H.R. 1 being one of those things. And so they've gotten people fired up for fundraising and people to go out and knock on doors and get out the vote and all this stuff. And now they got their folks elected in big enough proportions to where they have the presidency, have the House, and have the Senate. But it's a 50-50 tie with Kamala being the tie-breaking vote. So it's not like they have massive majorities, but they have control of these bodies of our government. And nothing's happening. And it's July, and it's been 6-7 months, and now they are, the base is ticked. The radical base is ticked. And so they don't have a choice here. They have to start pressing this. And of course, the Democrat Party has similar problems that the Republican Party has, which is you have your extreme, well, in the Democrat Party, the extreme wing, the radical left, and then you've got your more moderate Democrats. Even people who rank and file are conservative Democrats. I don't know why they're voting Democrat, because there's not a conservative Democrat in Washington, D.C. If there is, I'd have to pause and I don't know who that would be. There used to be a couple here and there. And, there's also, so there's that breakdown of the Democrat Party, just like there's the conservatives and the country club type Republicans in the Republican Party, or the big government Republicans even. So there's that, they're balancing a similar sort of situation there. But there's the energy is with the radical left. The energy, those are the people who want to change America fundamentally. And now they have control, and they're thinking, wait a minute, how are we going to change America fundamentally if we can't even pass what they view somehow as reasonable, a reasonable piece of legislation pertaining to how we conduct elections in this country with H.R. 1, which is an unmitigated disaster in and of itself. Just a mess of a piece of legislation. And they are not happy. They are not going to accept waiting around. And so Democrats have to at least put forth the image that this is what they're trying to do. Now, the Democrats know that they're in a pickle politically because they can't do anything with the filibuster. And you've got Manchin and Sinema who keep doubling and tripling and quadrupling down, saying they're not going to get rid of the filibuster. And so now you're stuck with that reality that, hey, what are we going to do? And so they're Dramocrats first, meaning it's all about the performance. So again, you have to stir it up. You have to make, again, the issue about how fundamentally unfair and racist Republicans are, because they do not, this all fits together. They do not have they cannot run on a referendum on what they've accomplished, because everything they've touched literally has fallen apart. Everything. Economy, border, things like Iran, we're wanting to do all sorts of things that are not good for free speech. Now, in their minds, that's a good thing, because they don't want you to oppose the benevolent Democratic Party. But average Americans can see this. We experience this. We know this. So they got to make it about something else. And why not make it about something that can stir up your base and also fundraise for you as you head into 2022? You don't want this to be about ideas, because all the ideas, as Trump would say, are losers. The ideas are losers that the Democrats embrace. Quick timeout's necessary. Sit tight. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. Back in just a minute.
Stay on top of the nonsense our colleges are subjecting students to today by listening to Todd's monthly interview series with Matt Lamb, assistant editor of The College Fix. Listen at toddhuffshow.com/college. Brought to you by Apprentice University. We understand how overwhelming it is for students to make life-altering decisions. We help you guide along the curvy pathway toward reaching your goals. You'll gain professional skills and learn to problem solve for your future career. Visit apprentice.university to learn more about this debt-free college, purposefully designed for your outstanding future.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Weddings, reunions, business, church, or family retreats. Indiana Paradise Retreat is a hidden gem located right here in central Indiana. With over 11,000 square feet, a theater, gym, sauna, hot tub, pool, stocked lakes, and even an on-site event hangar, we have just the place for your next event. Find us on Airbnb, VRBO, or just search for Indiana Paradise Retreat. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Welcome back, my friends, advertisers, and supporters of this program. May or may not agree with all the things that are said on this program, though they certainly should. I want to make sure that we all understand that. But this program brought to you in part by our friends at Shepherd Community Center. You know what I think about Shepherd and Jay Height. They do fantastic work for this community, Indianapolis, Central Indiana community. And they're in need of volunteers. They're always trying to find better ways and people to help them serve that community. If you want to help out, if you want to volunteer, if you want to give. In fact, I just got an email saying that Jay's 56th birthday is coming up. It's recent. Maybe it just passed. It's any time now. They're asking folks to celebrate by making a $56 donation to Shepherd. Check it out, shepherdcommunity.org, shepherdcommunity.org, and you can find out more information on how you can get involved. So I promised you that we would get to some sound bites from this speech yesterday that Biden gave. Again, a speech that I consider completely irresponsible to kick off to the 2022 midterm campaign. It was pitiful. I think it was historically inaccurate. I think it was, what I want to say, it was disingenuous. I definitely think that because of the way that these things are being described. I told you that he refers to these laws as 21st century Jim Crow laws. This is where he says it in the speech. It was elsewhere back in April. I think it was on April Fool's Day because it did seem like a joke when I heard it for the first time. But he said that the Georgia election law was Jim Crow law on steroids. But here's what he said yesterday in his irresponsible speech.
State voters and impartial poll workers. They want voters to dive further and be able to be in a position where they wonder who's watching them and intimidating them. To wait longer to vote.
What?
To drive a long way to get to vote. They want to make it so hard and inconvenient that they hope people don't vote at all. That's what this is about. This year alone, 17 states have enacted, not just proposed, but enacted, 28 new laws to make it harder for Americans to vote. Not to mention, and catch this, nearly 400 additional bills Republican members of the state legislatures are trying to pass.
The audacity.
The 21st century Jim Crow assault is real.
There we go.
It's unrelenting.
Stop it.
And we're going to challenge it vigorously.
Disingenuous.
While...
Yeah, okay, clap for that nonsense. Disingenuous, historically inaccurate, intentionally provocative, It is all about campaigning and fundraising and trying to save the House and save the Senate. Make this about anything other than what you've accomplished, President Biden, because quite frankly, the track record is quite pathetic. Quite pathetic. 21st century Jim Crow laws. Republicans are trying to make it harder. Folks, do you realize there was a time, people's, and I know you know this, but just in general, people's understanding of history, I remember Rush always said this, begins with the day that they were born. So we have a lot of young voters who, I guess, assume that we had early voting and mail-in, just easy access to voting throughout the history of this country. It should be as easy as it should be, or as it can be, so long as it can still be secure. That's what this is not complicated, right? It is not complicated. Texas had drive-through voting, 24-hour voting in Texas, in certain cities anyway, back in 2020. That had never been done before. And now since it's done once under the guise of this is part of an election during a pandemic, now it is the baseline for all future elections. And if you take that stuff away, which is absolutely not necessary, folks, if you cannot find a time to vote, in many states, it's weeks and sometimes even, we may be into months, right, to where you can actually go and cast your ballot. If you cannot find a time to go vote, then you're not serious about voting. Restricting that, dialing that back a little bit is not trying to make it harder for people to vote. It is simply tightening up the system so that we don't have this constant opening, this constant vulnerability to fraud. Every second that you're open to taking votes, you're also open and susceptible to fraud. And of course, you have to do it some. I'm not saying it should be zero because you would have zero votes, but that is how it works. It's not brain surgery, folks. Anyway, timeout's necessary. Sit tight, back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Gray Brothers Cafeteria, R&R Products, and Reformation by supporting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Quality glass windows and doors add value to your home or commercial space. At White's Innovative Glass, our family-owned and operated company will work with you to ensure we understand your vision before we begin. And if you don't have a vision, we can help with that too. We proudly stand behind our work and look forward to your call. Right now, we're offering 15% off your next project. Visit our website at whitesinnovativeglass.com/Todd.
Were you surprised by your tax return last year? Did you get a large refund, or worse, did you have to pay more than you thought to the IRS? Or maybe you just got a new job, had a baby, or are going into retirement. Why wait for another tax surprise this year? Let Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group help you project your taxes for the year to save you the stress come tax time. 317-288-5260. Jody and his team will analyze your paychecks to see if you're withholding too much or too little and help make corrections to any W-4s. If you're the sole proprietor of a business, this is a great idea for you to prepare for your tax filing. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and their new location in Greenfield. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. And don't wait. The sooner you act, the more prepared you can be for any hidden tax surprises. That's 317-288-5260 or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com.
Flooded basement, failed sump pump. Water damage happens fast this time of year. For 38 years now, Hayes & Sons has been restoring water damage in Indiana homes and businesses. They'll help you navigate your insurance claim and get your life back on track. So when a water disaster strikes, tell your insurance agent you want Hayes & Sons for your restoration work. Visit hayesandsons.com/Todd for more information.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Are you looking to purchase waterproof flooring for your home? Did you know it's as easy as typing rnrproducts.com/Todd in your search engine for a great deal on our core tech line? Since 1971, R&R Products has provided brand name products at an affordable price to the listening area. Call 317-745-5794 or go online to rnrproducts.com/Todd. R&R Products. We make your flooring experience easy and affordable.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Welcome back. The amount of drama here. Biden said in the speech yesterday, we're facing the most significant test of our democracy since the Civil War, which we've heard him say this before, but this is just, it's remarkable. And he also basically said what we saw on January 6th was more of a concern than what we saw during the Civil War, because the Confederates never breached the Capitol building on January 6th as what they're calling the insurrectionists did. Look, folks, what happened on January 6th, the violence that happened there, I've repeatedly denounced that on here. You also see people who were peaceably in Washington, D.C., even people who were peaceably around the Capitol. Not everybody stormed the building. The people who broke the law and acted violently should face consequences. But acting like they almost overtook our country and overthrew it is beyond bizarre to me. Biden and the Democrats and the media act as though if the people who stormed the Capitol were able to succeed in gaining access and control of the Capitol, that we'd be done. We'd be over and done with. There's nothing else that would have happened. Are you serious? I mean, it's silly to suggest. This is what he said yesterday.
The assault on free and fair elections is just such a threat, literally. I've said it before. We're facing the most significant test of our democracy since the Civil War. That's not hyperbole. Since the Civil War. The Confederates, back then, never breached the Capitol, as insurrectionists did on January the 6th. I'm not saying this to alarm you. I'm saying this because you should be alarmed. I'm also saying this. There's good news. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be, for real. We have the means. We just need the will. The will to save and strengthen our democracy. We did in the 2020.
I can't. We did in the 2020. Does he know? Does he know that we were actually bombed by the Japanese in World War? Is he aware of this? World War II? It's what drew America into this. What? I don't say this to alarm you, he says. I say this because you should be alarmed. What in the world does that even mean? Whoever wrote this speech, and I don't know if Biden was butchering this. He butchered another quote by John Lewis as well that I don't have time to talk about. But I don't know what was going on here, if it was just written poorly, executed poorly. We know that it was executed poorly. But this is just pathetic in so many ways. Just out of time here. Quick timeout's necessary. Back in just a minute.
Enrollment in Todd's conservative, not bitter university is now open. For a limited time, save $10 on Todd's first course, A Christian's Guide to Being a Patriot. For more information or to enroll, visit conservativenotbitter.com. Sponsored in part by Workforce Chaplains. Could your business or organization benefit from the services of a professional team of chaplains? Meet the needs of your employees and foster an excellent work environment with Workforce Chaplains. For more information, visit workforcechaplains.com today.
Corn Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corn Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Let's face it, moving is stressful. That's why Jones Movers, a family-owned business for over 40 years, is here to help. Our team is ready to help and respond quickly to your questions. We can handle local and out-of-state moves, which means we can move your items to wherever your pin drops on the map. We also offer self-storage units for furniture and items you need a place for. Go to jonesmovers.com to get things moving today, or visit our Facebook page, Jones Movers.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Welcome back, my friends. Again, I don't take any, pleasure, I guess, in this really isn't personal to me, right? But I do think politics. But I do think if you've entered into the world of politics, you got to be prepared to take the criticism. And part of living in a free society, part of living in a place where we understand the importance of the ideas that are being implemented by our government, whatever government that is, federal, state, local, whatever. And you have to allow people to speak about that. And so sometimes it involves people. I know we don't attack people on here, but this speech really was reprehensible in my opinion. Truly was. Inexcusable, intentionally provocative, historically inaccurate, just pathetic all the way around. I've got to go. SDG, thanks for listening. See you tomorrow. Take care.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.